Well, for all of the talk of one baseball player's disdain for the New York City subway system, for kids who grew up in the city of New York, it was a way of life. And for young C.J. Nitkowski, it was the way to a perfect day, the way to get to Yankee Stadium. A subway ride to the Bronx was as good as it gets for a baseball fan. As usual, C.J.'s dad, Chet, will be in attendance watching his son try to beat the team he grew up worshiping.
It's always fun every time. I mean, this is where I grew up watching baseball. Coming to games here is the reason why I wanted to be a baseball player. You know, coming to watch games with my father and my mother, and I love it every time. And it's always nice to come home and to see everybody too, which it's hard to do during the season. You know, I'm pretty much out of commission for 7.5 months out of the year, and I don't get to see my family as much as I'd like to. So coming to New York gives me that opportunity too.
Chet, he grew up as a Yankee fan, but that's not necessarily tied to your allegiance.
No, I didn't start out as a Yankee fan. I mean, I've heard of the Yankees. You can't live in the United States without not hearing about the Yankees. So, I mean, I know who they were. And when I came to New York, I was told I had to pick a team. It had to be one or the other. And then whatever team...
Can't be both, right? Can't be Mets and Yankees.
Well, it was a little bit stronger than that. They said whichever one you picked, then you had to hate the other one. So...
What kind of a feeling did you get the first time you watched your son pitch at Yankee Stadium?
That was, I can remember that like it was yesterday, It's against Jimmy Key. And, I would have hoped that CJ had a little better game than he did, but both left-handers had a hard time that day. So, but I was like 4 or 5 feet off the ground.
With some of your help, we've assembled a sort of a memory lane of this young guy. Take us back to his days growing up. At what point did you know that he had the potential to be a professional baseball player?
Pretty much when he got drafted.
Up until then, you weren't quite sure?
As far as the potential was always there. I mean, there's more to playing professional baseball than potential. I mean, you have to have the desire and the want, and it's not as easy as everybody might like to think it is. So, it's a hard game. So, if you put your mind to it and you have the talent, you can do it.
CJ, was he a guy who pushed you at all? We hear so much about how much parents and fathers in particular, in regards to baseball players, should be involved. What was his involvement with your development as a baseball player?
I think they did it perfect, just for the simple fact that they were there for me. They pushed me a little bit, but never pushed me too hard. And I think that my parents knew that it was something I wanted to do. And whenever they saw that I might have been straying away or I wasn't working as hard as I should have been, they reminded me, if I wanted to do this, you're going to do it 100%. No matter what I was going to do in my life, my parents were going to make sure I did it 100%. And they knew I wanted to be a baseball player. So if any time that I slacked off or it seemed like the attention wasn't there like it should have been, and especially when you're in high school, there's going to be always other things that are going to distract you. They made sure that I stayed focused, and all those things, girls going out and everything else. And they just did a nice job. I think they didn't push me too hard. They knew that I wanted to do it, so that they made sure that I stayed attentive to it. But if I told my dad, he knew I didn't want to be a baseball player and I wanted to be whatever, and I wanted to be a finance guy working in the city. He was going to make sure I did that. Whatever I was going to do, I was going to do it 100%.
This is who you got your sense of humor from, is it not?
I guess so, yeah. I can't give them all the credit. My mom gets all the credit because she's left-handed. So thanks to her, I get to stay in the big leagues.
So you're a little bit goofy from that standpoint.
Definitely. I mean, if I wasn't left-handed, I think that there's a good chance I'd be in AAA or AA. I mean, being left-handed, as Gene Guidi said, is a license to steal, and I had to.
Fine baseball writer for the Detroit Free Press, Gene Guidi. CJ can't quite believe he was ever that. He attended high school actually in New Jersey, as his family lived right on the border between New York State and New Jersey. From Don Bosco High School, he went on to St. John's. We've got more ahead as we continue. We'll look at the starting pitching matchup in a moment. New York is truly an international city, and the pride of Japan, Hideo Nomo, starts for the Tigers. Their scouting report is next.